Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So some of you wanted to know how to make drain holes in the concrete pot. Now I could not make the drain holes in the concrete pot in my last video because the pot was not completely cured. Please do not make drain holes when the pot is not completely cured, otherwise there is a chance that the pot will get cracked. Now that my pot is completely cured, and you'll also notice that the edges are looking a little bit much more better. The reason behind that is I've gone ahead and sandpapered the edges to make it smooth and even. I usually do not do this, but just for the video and to give you an example, this is how it tends to look like once you tend to sand the edges. So now as you can see, the edges look more smooth, they look more even, and it gives a very finished look once you tend to sandpaper the edges. So now before we make the drain hole, I would always give you a tip. Always add some water in the concrete pot before you make a drain hole. It makes things very easy. Now I do not have a drilling machine. I do not use a drilling machine. I just use some pointed scissors that I have. With that, I'm able to make the drain holes very easily. So let me quickly fill in some water and I'm going to show you the entire process of how I'm going to make the drain holes in this concrete pot. We just need to add very little water, probably 1/4 is more than enough. We do not need to fill the entire pot with water, just 1/4 is more than enough. And then I'm just going to use my scissors. Now I have really pointed scissors and they tend to work out really well. So I'll just try to make the drain hole. As you can see, it's pretty simple because we have added water. It'll be much easier for us to make the drain hole. So I'll quickly fast forward. It'll just take a couple of minutes to make the drain hole. It's pretty simple. So now as you can see, the drain hole is done. The moment I'm going to lift it up, the excess water is going to flow out. So you can see it's pretty simple to make a drain hole. Only thing that you have to keep in mind is put in a little bit of water to wet the concrete, and then making of the drain hole is pretty simple. Now it depends, if you want to make it a little bit more bigger, you can do that as well, but I'm okay with this size. So now another important thing, if you're going to turn it around, you will be able to see that there's going to be the chipping that's going to happen, which is absolutely normal. Now for me, it's not much of an issue because this is going to be the underneath of the pot, so I do not need to be worried. This is not going to be seen, but for a lot of people who do not like this chipped look of the pot, what you can do is you can kind of do a little bit of sandpaper once the pot tends to dry. So guys, it's completely your choice. Any which ways, this is going to be on the lower portion. It's not going to be visible. But if you're a person who prefers to have very aesthetic looking pots, then you can just take a sandpaper and just sand out to smoothen the edges, or you can just put some more cement and try to cover up the hole if you want. But I usually do not do this. I'm just showing it to you guys. I do not have any issues with the under portion looking like this. It's absolutely okay for me. I don't have an issue. But let's say for whatever reasons you don't like this thing, so you can smoothen it out like this. As you can see, just use the sandpaper and smoothen it out. You can add some more cement if you want over here, because if you want to clear out that dent, but I think it is not that bad. It doesn't look that bad, so it's absolutely okay. You can just put it in. So our pot is almost ready. So I thought let's not keep this video incomplete with an empty pot. I will go ahead and put a succulent in this. I already have an Echeveria champagne that was in need of a repot, so I think this pot is going to work out really well. And these are the roots. You can see absolutely healthy bunch of roots, a lot of new roots also coming up. So I will first cover up the drain hole, and then I will put some soil and I'll figure out, just give me a minute, I'll try to figure out the soil and get back. So I've filled it with half the soil. I will put the roots in and then top it up with some more soil. The same soil mix that I tend to use, which is loose, porous, well draining, gritty, 80% aquarium sand, 20% of garden soil. I'm going to do that later because I have to still find some more soil, but I'm sure you might have got a fair idea. So that's how it is. So the succulent looks absolutely beautiful in this concrete pot. We will let the succulent settle in. No watering right away. We'll wait for, the succulent is very well hydrated, so probably after a week or so Succulent is going to be kept in indirect bright light for it to get adjusted because it's slightly green. There are not much colors. It was kept in indirect bright light, so I'll continue to keep it because I cannot put it out in direct sunlight. I have to do a slow introduction, but that's all about it. So you can see it was pretty simple to make your own pot, create your own soil mix. The only thing that you need to purchase is the succulent, and that's all about it. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.